What's going on, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in for today's episode of Chemical Guy's Detail Garage. Today we're inside of this BMW because it's daily driven, and over the years it's starting to accumulate a lot of stains and a lot of discoloration on the leather, because as you can see it's a very light complexion, so we want to remove all that safely and also protect it so that we can prevent future stains, but also revive that really nice, soft, supple feel and that fresh leather scent. Now, like I was saying, the stains from body oils or things that could have been spilled on the surface have started to stain the light interior of this BMW. You can see that there's this light discoloration here, or the grease on the headrest, or light jean staining on the bottom here. So what we're going to use is some leather cleaner, and we're going to use it full strength because this is a lighter complexion, so we want to make sure that we brighten it up and remove all of the grease or any kind of staining. And we've already started by vacuuming it because we don't want to grind any of the dirt or anything that could be sitting on the surface further into the pores of the leather or the protective coating that's on the leather. So we're going to start by spraying the surface and work our way from top to bottom. And we'll give this a moment to dwell, and it's also going to help lift any of the stubborn staining or odors. But the process and the products we're going to use today can be used on any kind of leather goods, whether you're using it on your leather steering wheel, leather seats, or maybe some leather handbags, or possibly even leather clothing, I don't know. But all that kind of good stuff can be used the same procedure. And we're going to also use a horsehair brush. And the reason why we use this horsehair is because it's a very fine bristle. This is soft where it's not going to scratch the leather as you scrub, but it's going to remove any of the staining or any kind of spills that are on the surface. We'll start here at the top, and we're going to agitate until we get it foaming. And this is safe to use on any kind of leather, whether it's, actual leather, leather red, or vegan leather. It's just going to gently remove anything that's on the surface or on that top coat. And again, it can be used on any color leather. This will revive that nice, supple feel. Give it that new look, that new smell again. But the foaming action is what's doing all the work, so you just basically want to agitate it and help lift off any kind of messes. So now we'll just take a clean microfiber towel and wipe away any of the spent product. This way we can, one, check our work, but also we're not letting it sit there and dry onto the surface. And it's important to make sure that the surface is nice and dry before you put on any kind of protective coatings. This way, one, you're not locking in any kind of junk that you just pulled out, but two, it's going to make it easier and also a longer lasting connection between the protective coating and the surface of the leather. You just want to gently work away any of the messes or any kind of staining to reveal that factory finish. So now that we've basically finished cleaning off and drying the leather seat and also the armrest here, we're going to move on to the protection stage using some leather conditioner. And now what this is going to do is add a protective coating, but this also helps to revive the natural leather scent and also give it some more of that softer feeling, because think of this as a conditioner for your leather. Now if your car sits outside a lot and it absorbs a lot of UV rays, what I would recommend doing is first putting on your leather conditioner and then topping that with leather serum, which can be thought of as like a sunscreen for your seats. And we'll start by shaking up the bottle. We're going to apply it to a tan applicator pad, and just in case you're wondering why we're using tan, it's because we've coordinated this for our leather surfaces. This way we're not contaminating them or possibly mixing them up with something that was from the exterior or something that's really dirty. And a quick tip that I like to do for seats that have a lot of perforations, or if you're working with intricate stitching, is to spread out the conditioner or the protectant onto the applicator pad that you're using. This way you're not putting a heavy glob of it in one spot. We'll just start here at the top and work our way down, blotching it out and then working it into the leather. In a really dry surface or really dry leather, it'll start to absorb it, or you can think of it almost like it's drinking up the conditioner. It's because it's looking for those nutrients. So it may take a couple applications depending on how often your interior or your leather goods are detailed. But this is a process that you want to do maybe 3 times a year, depending on your conditions, where your car is parked at, and also the weather that you typically deal with. I know a lot of you guys out there have brand new vehicles and you're looking for the best way to protect it or to maintain that natural like new feeling. This is a great way to do that because this is just going to lock in the factory coating, the factory finish, while also adding more protection. And what I always recommend is the best time to protect anything is when it's brand new. This way you continue that same routine and it'll help it last as long as possible. And also routinely detailing your interior surfaces such as your leather where it's going to start getting dry and brittle. It'll prevent any kind of cracking such as it's already started right here. And this is something that you'll have to have repaired along down the road or it'll start tearing up the seats. So doing this routinely will prevent any kind of harmful damage like that that will cost you down the road. Now another great thing about leather conditioner is you can use this to wipe away light scuffs. Like a lot of people will have light jean staining where they don't want to necessarily clean it all over again, or maybe a shoe print on your seat. This will help to lift and remove anything that was on the surface, kind of like a superficial scratch almost would be with a light polish. But basically what this is doing is it uses natural cleaners to help lift it off. It'll also add a durable layer of protection. This will prevent any kind of future damage. Now you guys can use these same products and the same process on your steering wheels, your armrests, or basically any kind of leather goods that you want to revive and also protect. And it's super easy to do that anybody can do it. So if you guys want to learn more about these products, head over to our website, chemicalguys.com, or to your local detail garage. If you like today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, drop your comments down below for future videos, and we'll see you guys next time.